Welcome to This Time Went Down, Shahbaz. Today, we're going to be counting down our top 10 best films of 2018.
I was like a ventriloquist.
You knew what I was going to say.
I was like a ventriloquist there.
So these are our personal favorite films of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like our top 10 worst films of the year, this list is not in order until we get to the top 3 positions.
Yeah.
So we're going to be counting our way down, starting with
Number 10. Well, should we probably do some happier, right? Because
Yeah.
I made it a bit more intense. But number 10 is Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
So Crazy Rich Asians was a huge surprise to us.
Yeah.
We kind of were like hearing that it's getting good reviews. So we're like, why don't we go check it
Right.
out, see what's happening. And we just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
We had a great time, and we loved seeing all the different set pieces of Singapore, and just overall, all the characters were very likable.
Yeah. I think this is what happens when you let a director like adapt a piece of work that's unique and it's different from anything else coming on the world. Like, at the end of the day, this is still a romantic comedy.
Right.
But there's such love and care and such great performances in this movie that you just fall in love with what's happening in this movie, and you just want to see more.
And I think it's John M. Chu or John Cho who directed this film,
Right.
and he comes from a background of more visual and musical related films, right? So you can definitely see that he has the flair and the style in this movie, and it shows. It's very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's just a beautifully shot movie.
Very
Like, this
beautifully
movie is
shot.
just stunning, and it's one that I'm so happy to have in my collection.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9 goes to Aquaman.
Yeah.
Huge surprise for us as well, because we were like, oh boy, man, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But again, when we think about it,
Right.
we had a lot of fun with Aquaman too.
I don't think anybody doubted the passion and creativity that James Wan was going to bring to this, but it's easily to doubt the DCEU.
It's easy to doubt it.
You know, so going into this movie, we're like, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
And we left like, wow, that was actually pretty badass. Like, that was a really good time. Jason Momoa is awesome.
He carries that film really well.
Such beautiful, like, set pieces and ocean and cinematography down there as well, too. The same thing that I was talking about Pacific Rim in our worst list. There's a lot of CGI in this movie, but it never pulled me out of it.
No.
If anything, it immersed me in it more.
Underwater. The audio also was great. Like, I loved how every time the cameras were pretty much falling underwater, the audio would almost be like when you're going in water, plunge out in a way.
It was really cool, really well done, visually beautiful movie as well, too, and there's hope for DC yet. Number 8. So number 8 on our list, this is one that I absolutely love this movie. Were you stretching?
I was trying to do the Wakanda thing, but
it looked like a stretch mid-thing too. Black Panther. So Black Panther came out in February. This movie feels like it came out eons ago at this point. This year has been really long. But Black Panther came out in February, and it just
started the year.
There's no doubt the frenzy this movie caused.
Oh yeah.
This movie was everywhere. Social media. This is the most talked about film of the year.
It was really a cultural phenomenon, I think. And we saw this movie 4 or 5 times in theaters, I think. 4 or 5 times.
We were lucky enough to see a screening of it in downtown Toronto a few days before it opened.
Yeah.
And that screening was the busiest I've ever seen a screening before. Yeah. And it was just such a great time. Like, T'Challa is such a likable character, and we saw him in Civil War, and now he's getting his own movie to shine in. And yeah, he just...
I think people are still talking about the score and the soundtrack. Like, this movie has a 2 for 2 in the music department.
Yeah, and it's just awesome. There's just... Everyone in this movie is so likable. Michael B. Jordan gives such an amazing performance as Killmonger in this as well, too.
Great ending
as
well.
I think this is the movie that, if you speak to anybody, they've seen it this year.
Yeah.
This is the movie that people have seen. Number 7. Number 7 on our list is another huge surprise from this year.
That was a game... chess piece husband.
Okay. Number 7 is Game Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the trailer and we were like, wow, we're not going to be seeing that movie.
Yeah, it just looked like such a generic comedy.
Oh, boy.
Foot in mouth again. This movie just blew us away of how funny, how smart and clever it was.
It also felt original in a way.
Yeah, it was
It was such an ode to people who love movies.
Yeah, it just felt super aware of itself as well. And it wasn't afraid to go to dark places as well, too. There's some surprisingly dark moments in this movie.
There's super dark moments,
But you just fall in love with the characters. You're invested in it.
Yeah.
I love the way this movie was shot and the cutaways, how they kind of look like game boards.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool movie. So definitely, if you haven't watched it, check it out.
Yes.
Number 6.
You had to be quiet about it.
Number 6.
You know why? Because it's A Quiet Place.
Oh, yes. Okay.
We'll just review it in quiet silence. So, A Quiet Place, we also got to luckily see about a week or two before it came out.
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous going into this movie because I love John Krasinski from The Office, but I'm not a big horror movie guy. Like, I get a little scared.
Yeah.
But I loved this movie so much. I watched it again a couple nights ago, and it was just the most... I think I've never had a theater experience like I've had in The Quiet Place.
Yeah. I've never been so scared of silence before in my life, or of making a sound. This movie just totally just threw you in their situation, and you just totally felt lost in that world. And I was truly terrified. Whenever it went silent, or whenever something was like around, you felt that fear with them, right? Yeah,
and I think the whole audience, literally, like, no one even made a dent in their popcorn because of the fact that you were afraid to move. At one point, I was like, should I just hold my breath?
Yeah, and I did. I felt like I was holding my breath a lot for this movie.
A lot. And it has the best ending of this year.
I think so. I think easily has one of the best endings this year, and of all, like, the last 10 years, I'd say one of the best endings.
We were like, end now, and
it did it, and you're like, yes, that nailed it.
Number 5. Now, number 5 is called Green Book, and again, I think a lot of the running theme for this list so far is the movies that really surprised us.
Right.
I didn't really expect much from Green Book. I liked the trailer. I love the two actors. I love Viggo Mortensen. I love Mahershala Ali.
Yep.
But when I walked out of the film, I was like, I just felt uplifted.
Yeah. It's a very uplifting film. It's a very positive feeling film, and this film does deal with some dark themes in it, you know? But the relationship between Viggo and Mahershala in this movie, they're just awesome. They work so well together. They play off each other so well. Yeah. And it's a road movie with so much heart and soul that we immediately went to go see it again afterwards.
Yeah, you know we did, yeah.
So it's a great film. Great film, and I think a worthy place on this top 10 list.
Mm-hmm. Number 4.
Number 4 is mid-90s. So mid-90s is written and directed by Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
His first ever
directorial debut.
You know, I mean, you can only have one.
You can only have one directorial debut, according to the law.
But this movie focused on skateboard culture. There's a bunch of no-name actors in this movie
they're all skateboarders,
They're all skateboarders. Sonny Solchek? Right. He's the main character in this movie. He also played Atreus in God of War. Boy. But this movie, it's another one that I think it just respects the time period it comes from.
Yeah.
And it holds on to that. Mm-hmm. The aspect ratio, the music in it, the way it's shot, the way it looks. It's really, I think, more so than just being movies set then, it feels like it's coming from that time.
100%. And when this movie first started off with the 824 logo and skateboards, we knew right away from there what kind of ride we were in.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you could tell almost immediately when movies start how they may play out sometimes, you know what I mean? Or at least when finishing them, you could be like, you know what? From that first frame, we knew something special was about to happen, and mid-90s is that.
Yeah, really good film. Number 3. So number 3, now we're kind of getting to this is it. This is in gold, or I guess in bronze, silver to gold. These are the ones that you want to beat.
Yeah.
So number 3, do you want to let us know what it is?
Let's do it. Number 3. Hello?
Yes?
Number 3 is Avengers Infinity War.
So Avengers Infinity War, I mean, we knew this film would make the top... At least we were hoping it would make the top 10.
Yeah.
We knew we'd have a great time with it, but we didn't know how epic or of scale this film would be.
This is the thing. With Marvel Studios, we've been building for 10 years, right? We've been building to this moment for 10 years. Thanos has been introduced to us from 2012. Now, fast forward 6 years later, we're getting that payoff. And the thing that we were always scared of was, how are you going to make him the main villain and still be believable and scary and have enough, I guess, weight to him on screen that made it feel like he was a worthy character that have built up all this time.
You have to juggle all these characters in one movie?
Yeah.
Good luck. And you know what? The Russo brothers definitely did it.
They nailed it. And this is Thanos' movie for sure. And like this movie literally... You're leaving the theater, and this is, I think, another time in the theater. This is the only time this year that people just left dead quiet. When that character card came up at the end saying written, directed by or just directed by the Russo brothers, people were just like...
Still gasping.
Mouths open, like, trying to put together what we just saw.
And we saw the showing right after. We went 7 o'clock, then 10 o'clock.
And 10 o'clock. And
to
each time, And I think, as well, too... This movie had the best audience reaction throughout the movie with applauding and cheering. Thor entering Wakanda, I think will be one of my favorite moments in film this year. Because that was like...
Thanos!
Yeah. You okay?
I'm sorry, I had a bit of an attack there.
Okay.
Number 2. What was number 2 again?
Number 2 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
You remember my sound effect or not?
They're back. We can't escape it. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse just came out a week or 2 ago at this point now.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've stopped thinking about it.
No, it is. I've enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
It made such a huge impact on me. I do think that it is the best Spider-Man movie out there.
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack. I love everything about it. It's just so funny, and it's just such a... The movie loves Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's what I think I love about this film.
This movie is a love letter to Spider-Man. And again, we have Phil Lord and Chris Miller, at least producing. Phil Lord wrote this movie. And you see, like, you feel that fan love toward it. They're paying so much respect to the lore of Spider-Man, because this has a bunch of different Spider-Man characters in it, right? And you see that. And it's just, I think it's a studio, it's Sony letting these guys create the Spider-Man movie of our dreams. And
yeah. It's what Disney should let them do with Solo. But, I mean... Yeah. Number 1! Mission Impossible Fallout! Oh my god.
You beat me to it.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I was in a rush to get into the building.
Oh, okay.
It's a euphemism.
Okay.
From the film.
Kind of, you may have been able to tell by the big poster behind us. We put Ethan Hunt front and center.
Yeah.
Is the first time you've seen this?
No.
Okay.
No, I've seen it before. What is this? This time what? Okay, that's
us.
So, here's the thing. Mission Impossible Fallout is what, the 6th entry into the franchise?
Yep.
And that's amazing. How can the 6th movie be one of the best out of all of them? That's huge. That's huge.
What more could we say? It's funny because we have a spoiler playlist on our page.
We do.
This is Mission Impossible is the only one we have a spoiler video on.
Right.
That's how much we love this movie, that we had to keep talking about it.
It was also our first YouTube review as well.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Huge.
Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, like, there's no doubt the love he has for this character. And every film, they find a way to outdo themselves.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 have been some of the best movies made in their year. And I think Fallout is a movie that, to this day, is one that I constantly think about and said, hey, let's put on Fallout. Let's put on this in the background. Let me see this movie again. In a world where we're seeing so many CGI-heavy, computer-generated movies, to have one with such practical effects and just the love of what stuntmen do, that this is just... I just loved it. I think, and the best part about this film is that Christopher McQuarrie did the last one, which is Rogue Nation, and then he's back on this one, but they still feel like 2 different films. Yeah, and that's one of the things that he said, that he wanted to have a different cinematographer, different composer, different crew, because he wanted that feeling of each movie being their own thing to continue. And this one, I think it's easy to say it's the best Mission Impossible movie, and it's easy to see why it's number 1 on our list of 2018 best
It's a real
movies.
gem.
It's a real gem.
Yeah.
Easily.
Thank you so much for watching our video and making it to the end of this top 10 list. If you did, what's up? Thanks for being here. Please comment, like, subscribe. We just crossed our first 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
And
we have a nice contest up on our Instagram page. It runs until January 6th, I believe.
Yeah, so definitely
please
check it
give
out.
that a look, and you could be winning something really cool.
Yeah, go over there, check it out, and see if you're interested. Link in the description below.
Yeah.
But that was this time.
And we'll see you next year.